All right, I'd like to welcome you all to our Working with Portraits webinar designed to support the school annual online yearbook program. Our goal this afternoon will be focused on functions of the program associated with student portraits. Specifically, we will be reviewing printing class sheets for other teachers or parents to review and correct, strategies for detecting duplicate images, correcting student names, categorizing students, and using the flow function to create portrait pages. This webinar will be approximately 20 to 30 minutes, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's talk about the first thing here is printing class sheets and the importance of them. So to get to that, what we're going to do is we're going to um, go to our image library. So here on the home page, we're going to click on Create and then Image Library. Now right here on the side, you will have your inbox portraits activities. So we're actually going to click the arrow on portraits, and we're just going to click on the first folder right here, this first teacher folder, Atkins. So to print off a class sheet, all you have to do is click on any one of these folders right here, and then move your cursor up and then to the left over here. What we're looking at right in here is this little button right here, this little button that says PDF. So we're just going to click on that, and it should open up a screen right here to the side, and it will have a PDF preview of that page. So with this right here, you can print this out and hand it to this teacher. And the one thing you want to ask them to do is check to make sure that all the students are accounted for, make sure the names are correct. If there's any portraits that are any duplicates or whatever portrait the parent wants to use, should you have a primary and a makeup day image, so whatever one the parent wants to use. Also look to make sure that there isn't a kid that can't have their image in the yearbook for whatever reason, and we'll talk about how to deal with that here in a minute. And so you just hand this to them and they will take a look at it and make sure that everything is correct. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the coverage report. To get to the coverage report, all you're going to have to do is click on Create and then Coverage Report right here. So this coverage report serves multiple functions. First, it will have a list of all your students and teachers, staff, whatever, right here. To sort through everything, all you have to do is either click sort by either first name or last name, if you from A to Z, or if you click it again, it will go from Z to A. This will also have the first name, last name, grade, whatever information that's been attached to the photo will be right here. Uh, as you start working in the book and as you start putting things into the book, you'll see right here a number of times in the book. That will tell you how many times that image has appeared in the book, or how many times that any candid image that's been tagged with this particular student has been placed in the page in the book. And this will tell you what page they're in. So right here, if you get your class list back and you need to make edits and you don't want to jump from page to page, well, from folder to folder and making edits and doing a bunch of clicking, and I'll show you that method here in a second. So what you can do is right here is you can actually make all your edits from this screen. And so let's take a look at this second one right here. Let's say this J is actually Jason. The parent wants Jason, not J. So by fixing this right here, and you'll just simply click off of it, that name and that portrait is now edited in the folder. So let's take a look at it. Let's see, Drake, fourth grade. That's the current folder that it's in, or the homeroom. So let's go ahead and go back to our image library, and let's go back to Drake. And then here you go right here. So Jason was changed from J to Jason. And then we go back and change it again. We go to create image library, and now here you go. Change back to J. And the reason why we might use the image library to adjust names and all that, to do that here, all we have to do is click on the image, come over here, click on edit name, edit, change this, click on save, and then done. And so that's how you would change a name within the folders one by one. So the benefit of doing it from the coverage report is less clicking, and it's a little bit quicker. The advantage of doing it from the folders is you can actually see which student you're changing the name on, because there may be another Jason within somewhere within the folders. So there's kind of a benefit to each one, but also kind of a little bit different. Um, so that's how you use the coverage report. So let's go ahead and let's talk about tagging names, upload using no photos, and tagging no photos. So first, let's talk about no photos. So if you have a student that didn't have their picture taken either during the regular photo take or during makeup day, or maybe they're a new transfer and they just don't have their school image from the last school they were at, you can actually get a no photo going to art. Then we're going to go by type. Come down here to borders and lines. We'll scroll down here, and here we go right here with no photo. So we're going to select a no photo that we want to use. So we're going to select maybe this one right here. Come up to actions, this one with the star next to it, and click on download. We'll get a little pop-up. And so then we can always, well, you know what? I'm going to put it right here. So we can always put it in like in pictures right here and just click on save. And then there we go, it's saved. Now we can upload that image as many times as we want. So let's go back up here to portrait and go back up here to Atkins class. And we're going to import that no photo. So we're going to click on upload. And then what we can do is we can actually uh, open up our file explorer and go to picture right here. And then click and hold and then drag that over here to this dotted box, and it will start uploading. Or we could click on upload, choose image, go to pictures, and then upload it that way as well. So there's two different ways to upload an image. Once an image is uploaded, we're going to need to tag this image with the student's name. If you see a red little plus sign right here, that means the image is not tagged. Teal, that means the image is tagged. So to tag the image, we're just going to double click on the image. Now right here, you'll see on the right that there's nowhere to click or nothing to put an actual name. What we're going to have to first do is just simply click on the image here on the left, and it will bring up that red box right here. You'll see a box appeared here on the right. It's unidentified. We're going to click on that, and then we're going to see create new student. So we're going to create that, and then we're going to enter a name. So we're going to give them a first name, last name, and then a grade. Grade is now required this year. So if you don't know a grade or don't have grade information, or you just want to, you can just select anything. You can just simply select like fifth grade. For staff and uh, faculty, you can just select a faculty right here or other. If it's a group photo, you could just select organization or something. You just as long as something is right there in gray. So just click on save, and then that person is now tagged. Just ignore this right here. What this little symbol right here means is, we click done, is that they're not in the coverage report. The preview photo, like this little photo right here, it's just not found in the coverage report, or nothing's linking that name to the coverage report. That's all that means. So don't worry about if you see this. So again, that is just simply click right here, click this little box here, create new person, fill out that information, and then uh, if you just refresh your page, you will see the name right there. Sometimes it just takes a quick refresh of your screen for the name to take effect right there. Okay, so if we get our list back and we see that some corrections have been made, so a teacher may say, well, you have a duplicate image of a student. We have one student that doesn't belong in our class, and we have another student that doesn't need that cannot, for whatever reason, have their image in the yearbook. So we're going to take care of those three. The first one is right here. So we have this Adams in here twice. So we have duplicate image. We just need one. So one could be the primary, one could be a makeup, or it could just be simply be, in this case, the same image twice in the image library. So to mark one as a do not use, because we highly discourage deleting the image, just in case you need the image later, or just because, or in case a parent comes in and says, well, I changed my mind, I want this other image in there. So all we have to do is double click on the image, and it brings up the image details. Click on details, come down here to preference, and then what you'll see right here is use portrait. If we click on that, we will see three different options right here. The one we want is don't use portrait. So we're going to click on that and click on done. And then here you will see that it's slightly faded with the red do not use right there on the very top. So what that means is it's telling you the system or the program will not use that image in the flow. So if you find students that are not supposed to be in this class for whatever reason, so all you have to do is click and hold on the student's image, drag it to the folder that it's supposed to be in, let go, and then you'll get this little pop-up that says, are you sure you want to move this image? Just click on move, and that image is now right here. So again, it's just simply click and hold, drag, let go, and then click on move. The one thing you want to look for is make sure that the background of the folder there has that little like that black bar behind it. So if you have an image that of a student that cannot be in the book for whatever reason, all you have to do is double click on the image, come up to details, preference. Now the same one, use portrait, only this time we're going to select this bottom one that says use no photo, and then click done. So here you see it's slightly faded, but this time it has a gray use no photo, and I'll show you what that looks like when we go to flow this class, what the default no photo looks like. All right, so once we're done with all this, we're going to go to our pages and we're going to talk about setting up your own flow elements and using and using templates. So let's go back to plan and then page ladder, right? And then we're going to go to our page here. And I have this set up for a reason here. Okay, so once we're on here, one thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the design tab and we're going to talk about using our templates. So we're going to go to design and then we're going to go to portrait right here. All you have to do is click on the arrow next to portrait and you'll see all these selections or all the categories underneath portrait. The arrows might be a little finicky. So if you click on it and it comes back, no selection or there, just go back and make sure your cursor is really on that arrow to select it. So some of the classes, if you know your class only has at max 20 people, so we want to go to maybe 11 to 20 photos, or you can go to different sections right here where the uh, portraits are just a little bit bigger. So it all depends on what you want to do. So we're going to go to the 11 by 20 photo right here. And you can see some of these templates are already done for you. It already has a flow element on them. So we're going to go to, let's look at this one right here. So if you find the one that you want, you can click and hold, drag it to the page here, and let go. You'll get this little pop-up right here that says, do you want to retain existing content? Well, here on the left page, you can see we have no existing content. There's nothing on there. It's blank. So it doesn't matter if we hit yes or no. So there we go. We got one, and you don't have to use the other side of the page here. You can either use one or the other. It doesn't matter. So if we want to use the other side here, we can click and hold and drag it to the page here. Now here's where on the right side you can see we have a background and we already have an image on there. Here's where retaining existing content matters. If we hit yes, it's going to keep everything there. If we hit no, it's going to erase everything on that page in favor of the new template. So we put that on there and click on yes. You will see it keeps the background and it also puts that image in the first available image frame. So whatever image frame that it fits, that's where it's going to put on there. So if you don't want like this image on there, before you drop the image frame, well, excuse me, before you drop the template on there, you may want to click on the image and just remove the image and then bring this over here and then drop it off. Right? So we're going to go, I'm going to save this page because we're going to come back to it here in a minute. All right, so next we're going to talk about setting up your own flow elements or creating your own elements for the page because maybe you want to create the page yourself or do something different than just use a template. So we're going to come down here to flow. We're going to click on flow. So right here at the very top of the flow, we have 6 different elements. We have the traditional, and I'm going to bring this over here, the traditional names to the side. And then we have the slightly more popular names underneath the images. Now, one thing you'll see immediately is the two major differences between the two. The one here on the left, you have many uh, spots for portraits, where the one on the right, you have fewer options but larger frames. So we're going to talk about how to get these two different ones situated so that you can use them the way you need to use them or get them so that they fit your page. So we're going to talk about the one here on the left first. So we're going to click on this one, and if you notice there's a toolbar right here at the top of the double page spread. If I click off of it, then it goes away. If I click on the flow element, that toolbar comes back. So you can kind of see that there are some hidden features as you click on stuff and all that. So let's explain this bar here real quick. So this first one is your font. That's for your text right here. So if I click right here, I can change the font, and all this has to be done before you flow. That's the very important thing to remember. If you want to change the text coloring, the font, or add a border, it has to be done before you flow. Next is the font size. So you can actually increase it, and it's done by even numbers. But if you want to change it to odd numbers, you just have to click inside, delete that, type it like 9, and push enter on your keyboard. And it will change the size of that text. Right here is the color. That's the color of the text. So one thing you may want to look out for, and when we talk about the color of the text, is look at your background right here and see and really look at make sure that your text stands out against that background. So that's something you may want to consider changing the color of your text right here to something that can stand out against that background. So next right here is add a stroke line. This adds a line around all your images right here. The larger the number, the thicker the line is. Usually about a 3 is comfortable and looks a little aesthetically pleasing to me. It looks nicer, and I think anything more than that is just a little bit too much. So the B is for bold. Some text you can bold, some you cannot. Yeah, I for italic, and then you can add an underline. So right here in the middle, this is where you will work at for most of your creating the flow element right here, or situating the flow element to get it to use. So we're going to click on this right here, and we're going to see flow options. First thing on the right here, you'll see a little thumbtack. If you click on that, you can actually move this out of the way. So the first thing you'll notice right here, it says automatic, and it has that blue check mark. We want to uncheck that. And the reason why we want to uncheck it is right here. So as we reduce the number of rows, you're going to see that these boxes are getting longer, and it's staying inside this dotted line right here. So what we want to do is uncheck that box. So now when we reduce the number of boxes, we're seeing rows actually start to disappear. And so to know how many boxes we need, let's come over here and let's look at the very first class, because I'm going to use this class a lot. So under category, if you click that, that's where all the folders are for different teachers. So if I use this very first one and I come over here to underneath name format, you will see it says 18 images. So that tells me that I need a minimum of 18 image, or enough slots to fit 18 images. Now it's not exact right here. So I can do 4 rows and maybe 5 columns right here. Or I can go 5 columns and, 5 rows and 4 columns just to get that 20. Right, so once I have the number of rows and columns down, I have enough boxes right here. I can actually move that around to anywhere I need it. For any reason, uh, I'll save that for tips and tricks here. So I can move that around right here. So you'll notice that it's in a kind of a tight box. I mean, I got a lot of room here on the side right here and right here. So I can actually get these boxes just a little bit bigger. So right here, the next one underneath it is portrait dimensions, width and height. So I can actually change the width a little bit and change the height just a little bit right here. And then portrait spacing right here, this just adds spacing between the two boxes right here, either to the left and right or up and down. So I can add a little more spacing here or a little more spacing right here. All right. And then name width right here is I can add more space right here. That's very helpful for names that are really long. So if you have like a long first name, last name, or a hyphenated name, you may want to be able to add a little more space right here. Next is portrait shape. Right here, you can actually change the shapes of the different portraits. Rectangle is the only one where you can add a rounded corner. Usually about 4, 5 is a good number to round off the corners of these. Next, underneath right here is your name positions. This is currently we have the name on left horizontal. If I was to click this, I can come down here to names on right horizontal and actually change where those names are located. So if you use this right here, especially named on right horizontal, I'm going to show you why you need to click no right here. Align names to portrait image. So first we're going to keep it just the same as it is because I'm going to show you the difference between the two. So now that we have everything set up right here, we're going to come over here to flow. We're going to double check our category, make sure it says the teacher we want to put on this page. Name format is first last. That means the first name's first, last name's last. Here, excuse me, just a minute. All right, then we're going to look at the number of images right here is 18 images. Then we're going to see that 18 images remain. That's because we haven't flown any. Start and stop is your pages. So we're going to start here on page 16 and we're going to stop on page 16. Now we don't have to stop on 16. We have, if yours is set up by grade, and so you have maybe like 100 students in a grade, you can start on page 16 and stop on page 17, 18, 19, 20, whatever page you need to stop on. So once we have that set, we're going to come up here real quick and we're going to hit on save because we want to save the pages. Before you saw a red bar right here. If you ever see a red bar, so I'm gonna put this right here and save. So we see a red bar right here says 0 available positions. That means there's no positions here. If I move this back, well, now I have 20 positions on this page, but the problem is the program or the online program doesn't know that I just moved that back there. So once I save it, now it knows I moved that back there. Now it knows there's 20 available positions on page 16. So one of the things we want to do is check, make sure all the images are there, everything's good to go. Then we can come down here to the word flow and click on flow. All right, so now we have all the images right here and we have the names right here on the right, all the way, well, all the way down except for the names right here. So the names right here will stick to the end of where the last image, last portrait is. So let's take these images out and let me show you why you want to click no on that one screen. We'll go back. So to remove these images or take these images out of here, all we have to do is come back over, make sure our category says the teacher that we want to reset, and then just click on reset. Let's click on this flow element right here. Let's go back to our flow options, name options, and right here, align names to portrait image. We're going to click on no. Now you can see that the names just went from here back over to here. If we click on yes, the names go back here. No, the names move back over. So now when I flow, now the names will stay right here. So that's one thing you want to check, especially the ones on the right do this a lot. If I if I switch the names around, the left is not So the left side doesn't really do it that much because all the images stay right here. The only time that that might be effective if you do something like this, if you double click on your images and then readjust the way your flow element looks right here and then flow, then the names would move over here. But currently I have it so that it doesn't move right here, but the names would just move over here. All right. So let's talk about these ones over here on the right real quick. The difference between the ones on the left and the ones on the right, you have to start with the width and the height to change these and to get them to where you want them. Where before the ones on the left, you had to change the number of rows and the number of columns. So here you just have to change the width and then get those to where you want them. And then you can just add either another row or another column, whatever you need to. And then you could just adjust here. Because we made changes, we have to save. And then we can flow, and then the names will be there as well as the image and all that. One thing you will see right here, here is the default no photo right here versus a no photo that you have picked out. Okay, so some little tips I want to talk about right here. Oh, that's right. I'm selecting columns, not rows. There we go. So when you go to flow all your images, oh, that's because I reset it here. Just a minute. When you go to flow and try to move your image frames and all that, sometimes you will run into an issue where something like this, you're trying to lower them down, but it keeps bouncing back. And that's because you have a hidden row right here at the bottom. And there's and here's how you fix it. Basically, all you have to do is just click on reset, go back to your portrait options, and it just reduce it by one. Save and then reflow your class, and your pictures will be able to move down to where you want them. If for any reason you have a brand new student in, after you're done flowing all the images and all that, after you add them in and tag the image, you can reset and bring back one of these boxes right here. Currently, there are two right here on the right that are in hidden state. All you have to do is double click on the image. There's an eye right here in the upper right hand corner. All you have to do is click on it, and you can bring that box back or hide that box. So you can bring those two back and maybe hide these two, so you can set up a different pattern or a different look to them. And then once you do that, just click to the side right here and then just click on save, and it will save that just like that. So you can actually bring a box back and then reflow your class. Okay, just make sure I covered everything here. One thing I want to cover: if you're a school that flows, always make sure that your teacher is first. Something like that. If you see that the teacher is like over here and somewhere else in the flow, you can actually fix this by clicking on the little circle with an eye right here. Click on Details, Preferences, and you'll see Portrait Type right here. So here, the portrait type, it works as a hierarchy. So teacher will always flow first in alphabetical order, assistant in alphabetical order, student, and then other. Both of those in alphabetical order. So if I was to change this to like other, done, and then reset and reflow, here you can see the teachers at the bottom. But then if I want to make sure that he flows first, simply just change the portrait type, reset, reflow. Okay. If there are any questions, you can either type them in chat or you can take yourself off mute and ask. How do you add a new student? Simple. All you do is go to create and then image library. If you already have their image, you could just click on the class that you want to add them to, click on upload here on the upper right hand corner, and then just choose image, go to pictures or wherever that image is currently saved in your computer. Click on the image, click on open, and it will start to upload that image. And your image should be somewhere in alphabetical order according to the file type until you change or tag that image. All right, any other questions? All right, I'd like to thank you for joining us this afternoon. The demonstrations of the functions related to the creation of portrait pages should eliminate some trial and error that can occur when working on a yearbook. Printing your portrait sheets and editing your class data ahead of time should result in better accuracy on some of the most important pages of a yearbook. Feel free to join us next time. That'll be Thursday when we talk about activity pages and candid images. So I'd like to thank you all again for tuning in. Like I said, this will be recorded and I'll have a recording sent out to you either later on today or tomorrow.